You have a deadline approaching, an exam you need to study for, a quarterly report you have to draft. The task is heavy and uncomfortable, and it is sitting right in front of you. But instead of starting, you are reorganizing your desk. You are making your third cup of coffee. You are scrolling through this exact video, silently hoping that something I say will trigger a sudden wave of energy and make the friction disappear. You are waiting to feel ready. I will save you some time. That feeling is not coming. The fact that you keep waiting for it is the exact reason you are constantly stressed, constantly behind, and constantly promising yourself that tomorrow will be different. Look around your room. Look at the expensive planners you bought to get organized that only have the first week filled out. The online courses you bought on sale and never logged into. The study guides gathering dust. The half-written essay minimized on your screen right now. You look at these things and tell yourself you have a motivation problem. You think you are uniquely flawed. You assume the top students or the high-performing people in your office possess some hidden reserve of willpower, some burning inner fire that makes the hard work effortless. You are entirely wrong. The belief that you must feel motivated before you take action is a profound misunderstanding of human biology. You are waiting for an emotion to trigger a behavior. But your brain is actually wired to do the exact opposite. The painter Chuck Close summarized this reality perfectly. He said, "Inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work." This is not just a gritty quote to put on a poster. It is an exact description of human behavioral mechanics. To understand why you are stuck, you have to look at what your brain does when you simply plan to do something. When you write an elaborate to-do list, when you highlight a textbook, when you visualize yourself acing the exam or crushing the presentation, your brain releases a surge of dopamine. We commonly misunderstand dopamine as the reward chemical. It is not. It is the chemical of anticipation. When you spend an hour color-coding your study schedule, your brain receives a massive spike of dopamine. It feels incredible. It feels like real work. Your nervous system registers the simulation of progress as actual progress. You get the neurological reward of accomplishment without having to endure a single second of real effort. This is why you are addicted to planning. Planning is cheap dopamine. Execution is expensive. Your brain is a biological machine designed to conserve energy. Its primary evolutionary directive is to keep you alive while burning the fewest calories possible. When you face a difficult, complex, or tedious task, your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, knows it is important for your career or your grades. But your limbic system, the ancient emotional center, only sees an immediate threat to your energy reserves. The limbic system does not care about your GPA. It does not care about your promotion. It cares about right now, and right now, sitting comfortably requires drastically less energy than analyzing a spreadsheet or writing a 10-page paper. So your brain creates a feeling of resistance. It generates boredom, anxiety, and profound fatigue. It tells you that you are not ready. It suggests that maybe you should check your email just one more time, because checking email is a familiar, low-energy task that provides a quick sense of completion. You interpret this resistance as a sign that you lack drive. You decide to wait until the reluctance passes. This is the fatal error. You are treating motivation as a prerequisite. Science dictates that motivation is a byproduct. Psychologists refer to this as the principle of behavioral activation. The concept is brutally simple and entirely counterintuitive. You do not act because you feel good. You feel good because you act. The philosopher and psychologist William James outlined this over a century ago. He observed, "Action seems to follow feeling, but really action and feeling go together. By regulating the action, which is under the more direct control of the will, we can indirectly regulate the feeling, which is not. When you force your hands to type despite the screaming protests of your nervous system, a fascinating biological shift occurs. After 10 minutes of sustained effort, your brain realizes that the energy expenditure is mandatory. It stops fighting you. It begins to release neurochemicals designed to help you focus. The friction dissolves. The motivation you were waiting for finally arrives, but it only arrives precisely after you have already started the work. You cannot think your way into a new way of acting. You must act your way into a new way of thinking. This completely invalidates the multi-billion-dollar self-help industry. Watching endless videos of other people's perfect morning routines is designed to make you feel inspired. It pumps you full of emotional energy. You close the app feeling like you can conquer your workload. But that feeling is entirely synthetic. It is borrowed energy. And because it was not generated by your own action, it evaporates the moment you open your textbook or stare at the blank document. Consuming motivational content when you are avoiding work is not preparation. It is sophisticated procrastination. It is the illusion of movement. Think about the negotiations you have with yourself every morning. The endless bargaining. You tell yourself that if you just watch one more episode, then you will study for 3 hours straight. If you just grab a snack, then you will finally tackle the inbox. You are trying to negotiate with a biological algorithm that is designed to seek comfort. The algorithm will always win if you play by its rules. The only way to defeat the algorithm is to stop playing the game entirely. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus observed this dynamic nearly 2 millennia ago. He stated, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Notice the strict order of operations. He did not say to wait until you feel like doing it. He said to identify the target and then execute the requirement. The feeling is completely absent from the equation. This brings us to the actual solution. It is not glamorous. It will not give you an immediate rush of euphoria, but it is the only mechanism that actually works. You must separate your identity from your emotional state. Right now, you let your feelings dictate your schedule. If you feel tired, you rest. If you feel uninspired, you distract yourself. You are treating your emotions as objective commands rather than passing weather. If it is raining outside, you do not cancel your entire life. You put on a coat, you adapt to the weather, but you do not let it alter your destination. You must learn to treat your internal state the exact same way. You will wake up tomorrow and you will not want to commute to the office. You will sit at your desk and you will not want to do the research. That is the baseline. Expect it, welcome it. Do not be surprised by the resistance. The resistance is just the engine of your brain trying to save calories. It means absolutely nothing about your intelligence, your capability, or your potential. When you sit down to work and the voice in your head immediately starts bargaining for 10 more minutes of scrolling, you must recognize that voice for what it is. It is not logic. It is a biological reflex. You defeat the reflex by lowering the barrier to entry so drastically that your brain cannot find a reason to object. Do not commit to reading 3 chapters of your textbook. Your brain will reject that as too painful. Commit to opening the book and reading one single paragraph. That is it, one paragraph. Do not commit to finishing the entire presentation before lunch. Commit to opening the slides and typing the title. This sounds like a trick, and in a way it is, but it is a trick that bypasses your brain's alarm system. Your limbic system does not view typing a title or reading a paragraph as a massive threat to its energy reserves. It allows the action, but once you cross the threshold of action, the laws of physics take over. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. Once the textbook is open and the first paragraph is read, the friction required to read the next sentence drops by half. Once the spreadsheet is open and you format the first row, the friction of formatting the next row is negligible. You are not building motivation, you are building momentum. Motivation is a fragile, unpredictable emotion. Momentum is a physical force. There will be a period of intense withdrawal when you start working this way. Your brain is used to the cheap dopamine of planning and the comfort of endless preparation. When you force it into the cold water of execution, it will rebel. The first few days of moving without motivation will feel incredibly jagged. You will feel clumsy. Your brain will scream at you to stop. Let it feel awful. The quality of the feeling does not matter. Only the completion of the action matters. We romanticize success. We want to believe that straight A's or a brilliant career are born from sudden flashes of brilliant inspiration. The reality is that success is born from a high tolerance for boredom. It is born from sitting in the library when the chair feels like a prison. It is born from staring at the monitor when your eyes are completely tired. You have to mourn the loss of the perfect moment. The perfect moment where you are fully rested, endlessly inspired, and free of all stress is a ghost. It does not exist. The only material you have to work with is the flawed, tired, distracted present moment. If you wait for the ghost, you will become one. The exit from this trap is available right now. It does not require a new app. It does not require another perfectly curated morning routine. It requires a quiet, brutal acceptance of discomfort. Close the tabs you are leaving open as a distraction. Throw away the elaborate schedules that you spend more time designing than following. Look at the specific, heavy task you have been avoiding. Do not ask yourself how you feel about it. Your feelings are entirely irrelevant right now. Step into the friction. Do the work. The feeling will catch up later.